Dealers say it can take at least 8 times longer to sell used electric cars compared with petrol or diesel vehicles.
Look, I need you to listen to me very carefully. If you are walking into a dealership in 2026 to buy a new EV because you think you're saving money on gas, stop. Stop right now. Turn around, walk out the door, get back in your current car, and drive away. Because while you're staring at that MPG sticker, mesmerized by the idea of bypassing the gas station, the dealer is hiding a different bill that's about to bankrupt you. We are seeing a massive, unprecedented sell-off right now. I'm not talking about old Nissan Leafs with degraded batteries. I'm talking about people dumping one-year-old cars with 5,000 miles on them. I'm talking about brand new 2025 models hitting the used lot before they even need their first oil change, which ironically, they don't get. Why? It's not range anxiety, that was the old excuse. It's not the chargers, even though they're still broken half the time. It's the bills. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you the 3 financial traps, specifically for 2026 models, that are wiping people out. These are the silent killers of your bank account, and I'll show you the one truck that was supposed to save the American auto industry that just got put on life support. If you don't want to be the guy trying to trade in a car that's worth half what you owe, begging the finance manager for mercy, you need to watch this. See, for the last 3 years, the industry gaslit you. Dealers told you to pay a premium, sometimes $10,000 over sticker, because these were investments. They told you that maintenance would be zero. They said, hey, no oil changes, no transmission fluid. This thing pays for itself. Yeah, right. Now we have the data. The experiment has been running for 5 years, and the results are in. And the data says if you buy the wrong electric car this year, you're not an early adopter. You are a bag holder. You are the liquidity for a failing business model. Let's look at the 3 biggest reasons owners are handing back the keys, starting with the one nobody budgets for and the one that is currently shocking owners at the service counter. Most people get this wrong. You sit at the kitchen table, you budget for the car note, you call your agent, you budget for insurance, but you forget the shoes. Here's the dirty little secret sales guys conveniently forget to mention while you're signing the paperwork and drinking their complimentary coffee. EVs are heavy, like absurdly heavy. We're not talking about a couple of gym bags in the trunk. We're talking 20 to 30% heavier than a gas car because of that massive battery pack underneath the floor. That battery is a structural anchor. And do you know what basic physics does to tires when you combine a 7,000-pound SUV with the instant torque of an electric motor? It shreds them. It's like taking a cheese grater to a block of rubber. I'm seeing owners of Rivians, F-150 Lightnings, and even the heavy executive sedans coming into shops at 15,000 or 20,000 miles, needing a full set of rubber. Let's put that in perspective. In a gas car, a Honda Pilot, a Toyota Highlander, you might get 40,000, maybe 50,000 miles if you drive like a grandma and rotate them. In an EV, you're lucky to hit 25K before you're at the wear bars. I've seen some performance EV owners bald their tires in 12,000 miles. And here's the kick in the teeth. These aren't cheap tires. You can't just slap on some generic rubber. These are specific EV-rated tires. That means they need stiffer sidewalls to handle the crushing weight. They need special foam lining inside the tire carcass to reduce road noise because there's no engine to drown it out. You're looking at $1,200 to $1,600 every year and a half if you have a decent commute. Think about that math for a second. You save $1,000 on gas for the year, and then you walk into the tire shop and hand it right back. You're not saving money, you're just shifting the payment from Shell to Michelin. Comment below. Seriously, I want to know. If you own an EV, how many miles did your first set of tires last? Did you make it to 20K? Let's see who got ripped off the worst. But tires are cheap compared to this next nightmare. If tires are a flesh wound, this is a severed limb. Let's talk about the Chevy Blazer EV. On paper, it looks cool. It's got the aggressive styling, it's got the massive screens, it's got the heritage badge. It was supposed to be the mass market hero for GM. In reality, this thing loses value faster than a meme coin in a bear market. Right now, you can find lightly used 2024 and 2025 models sitting on lots for under $28,000. Some of these sticker priced at $55,000 or $60,000 just a year ago. Do the math on that. That is a $30,000 loss in 12 months. That is $2,500 in monthly depreciation alone. You could have leased a Porsche for less than what the Chevy lost in value. That is a financial bloodbath. If you bought this new, you are so underwater you need a nuclear submarine to find your equity. You cannot trade this car. You are married to it. Why is it tanking? Because the launch was a disaster. It wasn't just okay, it was catastrophic. Software bugs, bricked infotainment screens, charging failures where the car wouldn't accept juice. GM literally had to stop selling them, issue a stop sale order for months to fix the code. They say it's fixed now, they say the updates worked, but the market never forgets. The market smells fear. Dealers hate this car. I know guys at Chevy stores, sales managers I talk to off the record, who try to steer people away from them. Why? Because they don't want the headache. They don't want you coming back to the service bay next week screaming because your screen went black while you were doing 70 on the freeway. If you buy a new Blazer EV in 2026, you hate money. It's that simple. If you buy a used one for $25K, maybe. It's a lot of car for the money. But do you really want a vehicle that needs a reboot more often than your Wi-Fi router? Do you want to be the beta tester for GM's coding department? Before we get to the number one spot, the car that signals the tragic end of the hype cycle, we need to talk about the monthly bill that's making people sell their dream cars: insurance. For the first few years, insurance companies didn't know how to price EVs. They were guessing. They gave out discounts for green vehicles. Well, in 2026, the party is over. The carriers aren't guessing anymore. They have the crash data. They have the payout receipts. And here's the ugly truth they found. EVs are totaled easier than gas cars. A minor fender bender in a Honda CR-V is a $2,000 bumper repair. Pop the plastic off, put a new one on, paint it, you're done. A minor fender bender in an EV that tweaks the battery tray by even a millimeter, that's a total loss. Why? Because no liability lawyer or insurance adjuster want to take the risk of a damaged lithium-ion battery sitting in a garage and burning the house down. If that battery pack casing is even scratched, they write the whole car off. $60,000 car straight to the junkyard over a parking lot accident. Because of this risk, premiums on EVs are running 25 to 35% higher than gas equivalents this year, and that's the national average. In places like Florida, California, or Michigan, it's even worse. I've seen quotes for $300, $400 a month just for coverage on a Tesla Model Y or a Mustang Mach-E. That wipes out your gas savings in a single payment. You think you're saving $200 a month on fuel? Great, Geico just took it. This sounds good in the brochure, right? Low cost of ownership, fewer moving parts. It sounds great until you get the renewal notice in the mail and realize your premium just doubled because your neighbor's EV got totaled for a scratch. And quickly, before the big reveal, let's talk about what happens when things break. Because they do break. The no maintenance lie is crumbling. Sure, no oil changes, but suspension components, they wear out faster because of the weight. HVAC systems, they are incredibly complex heat pumps now. And here is the trap. You can't take these to Joe's garage down the street. You can't go to the independent mechanic who charges $90 an hour. They won't touch high voltage systems. They don't have the tools or the liability insurance. You are forced to go to the dealership, and the dealership knows they have you captive. I'm seeing labor rates for EV certified technicians hitting $250, $300 an hour. And because there's a shortage of these techs, you're waiting 3 weeks just for a diagnostic appointment. So you're paying Porsche prices to fix a Chevy and you're waiting a month to do it. And that brings us to the big one, the tragedy, the vehicle that was supposed to change everything, the Ford F-150 Lightning. If you want to know the true state of the electric market in 2026, do not look at Tesla. Look at this truck. This was the litmus test. Sales have flatlined. Production has been slashed. Rumors are swirling in Dearborn that Ford is putting the whole program on indefinite pause or cancellation watch. Here's the kicker. This is the F-150. This is the best-selling vehicle in America for 40 years. It's the golden child. If Ford can't sell the electric version, nobody can. Dealers are sitting on 2025 inventory that is rotting. I'm talking 100+ day supplies in some regions. They are practically begging people to take them. I've heard of dealers offering thousands under invoice just to get the floor plan interest off their books. The problem? It's a truck that can't do truck things. The marketing was genius. Power your house, 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. But then real people bought them. Contractors bought them, people who tow boats bought them, and they found out the hard way. You hook a trailer to this thing, and the aerodynamics kill it. The range drops from 300 miles to 90 miles. Who wants a work truck that needs a 45-minute nap every hour and a half? Imagine you're a contractor. You have a crew waiting, you're towing a skid steer, and you have to stop at a Walmart parking lot to charge for an hour while your guys sit on the clock. You lose money every time you drive it. People tried it. They realized it didn't work for towing, and now they're dumping them. The market is flooded with low-mileage Lightnings, crashing the values even harder. It's over. The hype is gone. If you buy a new Lightning today, you're buying a piece of history, and not the good kind. You're buying a Betamax player in a streaming world. And this is why you see every manufacturer scrambling right now. GM, Ford, Volkswagen, they're all pivoting. Oh, actually, we love hybrids now. Hybrids are the bridge. They're admitting defeat. They're admitting that Toyota was right all the time. The consumer wants 50 mpg and a 5-minute fill-up. They don't want a 6,000-pound science experiment that eats tires and tanks in value. So what does a smart buyer do in 2026? You wait. The market is correcting. We're seeing a massive recalibration. Prices on these used EVs are going to keep dropping as lease returns flood the auctions. The banks are nervous, the dealers are scared, and the manufacturers are confused. If you must go electric, if you just love the torque and you charge at home and you don't tow, fine. But let the first guy take the beating. Let the first guy take the 40% depreciation hit. Buy the used Blazer for $20K. Buy the used Lightning for half off. But do not, under any circumstances, walk into a showroom and pay sticker price for technology that is plummeting in value. The dealers are desperate. They're over-leveraged. They're staring at rows of metal that nobody wants. Let them sweat. If you want to survive this market without losing your shirt, hit subscribe. I track the numbers the dealers try to hide. I track the auctions, the insurance rates, and the service bulletins. And do me a favor, comment below. I want to hear your horror stories. What's the worst depreciation you've ever seen on a car? Or did you buy an EV and regret it? Let's warn the others before they sign the papers. See you in the next one.